good, guys? It is Reed and welcome back to another video. Today I got an awesome little trick tutorial, something that is impromptu, any deck of cards, and fun to do. I have a pretty neat idea of a second trick that you can follow it up with, and it is pretty awesome. So this is going to be Ed Marlo's open prediction. It uses sort of a ribbon spread concealment principle, something if you haven't seen it before that you'll probably get a kick out of. And it's great, and there's a lot of ways you can play with it because it feels very fair, and it's just a great little thing that you can use in so many ways. So just got to plug the website, of course. If you have not heard, check it out, rfsleights.com. You can check out some merch, some private lessons, all that stuff. Now, I don't want to take too much more time. Let's get right into it. Ed Marlo's open prediction. Let's go. All right, guys, so I want to show you quickly just how this looks, give you a quick performance. So I'm going to put a prediction right here, right in plain sight. It just looks like a phone right now, but you will see. And so I'll have you call stop whenever you want. I'll just deal through the cards, and you can truly call stop at any time, whenever you would like. Logan, call stop for me. Right here, so you can stop right here. We'll set that card down. No switches, nothing like that, no funny moves. And now look, you could have had all kinds of different cards. You could have the 6 of spades, 6 of diamonds, 6 of hearts, 7 of spades. There's all kinds of different cards. They're all different. If you would have went, one more, would have been this, one less, all kinds of different stuff. But you stopped right there without any switches. We'll take the cards, give them a spread on the table, and you can see that you stopped right here on one card, the Jack of Hearts. And of course, in view the whole time has been my phone, which contains the Jack of Hearts. Alright, guys, so this effect in a sense is really just a long-winded, glorified sort of force, and that's actually one of the things I like about it so much, is that with a force like this you can actually reveal a card in a million different ways. And so I'm going to kind of go through the original handling, the original presentation, but then talk about how you can actually because it's really just a force, and how you can take that and use that force to so many different ways, and use it in so many different effects, and really make that reveal hit hard. The setup for this is very simple. All you need is to flip the second last card from the bottom face up. One thing you can do is just do a little gambler's cop sort of half pass idea. So you get a thumb break above that card and you cop it off, and as you move the deck forward, these fingers are going to pull down, okay? And it's going to get that card to flip, and then you just bring the deck back right on top of that card, and now it's flipped the other way. So at speed, it just kind of looks like that, and you can kind of square up the side. From this angle, you can see I just kind of pull it into a deep cop and do it like that. So now you can have that card flipped over, and you can come through, and what I would do is just say, okay, in a second I'm going to have you pick a card, and I get one underneath in sort of a called position and move that to the bottom, and now I am set up, right? I'm in my setup. That's sort of an impromptu way to get into it. So you would just say, all right, guys, I'm just going to try something with you here with this deck of cards. So in a second, I'm going to have you go through, and you can literally take any card that you want. And in that, I have just set up my setup. Now, if it's a specific card, you can either have it on the bottom and get into it that way, or just, quickly just spread through when they're not looking and set it up on the fly just like that. But regardless, we need a card, the second card face up. So of course we'll use the Jack of Hearts. So we have our force card face up. Now in the original presentation you would start by openly telling your spectator, I'm going to make you pick the Jack of Hearts no matter what, right? No matter what, you're going to pick that card, right? So I'll give the deck a little bit of a shuffle, and if you want you can. All you do is just take a chunk leaving the bottom behind and shuffle that off on top. So I'm just literally taking a chunk from the top and throwing it here, and you can say, all right, I want you to call stop whenever you'd like, but make sure it's really your choice. Don't let me influence you, nothing like that. Now we're just dealing through the cards. Now the one thing you want to keep in mind here is to keep the cards fairly square, as square as you can. That's going to help you later on. Now they can call stop whenever they want. If they call stop here, perfect, but always make sure you give them that chance to change your mind. Are you sure? Is this the one you want? Because we really want this to be open and fair. So let's say they want to keep going. Then perfect, we keep going. Now they call stop, and you want to set that card halfway on the rest of them. I don't think you really need to justify this, because you're setting it there so they can keep an eye on it. But if you want, you can just say, all right, so I'll set it just like this, just so you can keep your eye on it, not lose track of it, make sure I don't switch it, anything like that. But I honestly don't really think you need to even say that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory and makes sense why that's there. But you're just setting it halfway on, halfway off, so you're kind of in that position there. That's why it's good to keep the deck square. Now you're going to say, let's just see how you did, right? I was trying to get you to go for the Jack of Hearts. Now we know that's card is there. So what you need to do is get a break underneath those 2 cards and pick them up as a double. Now for me, I can just come here and just pick up the 2 cards just by feel. I don't need a break, I don't need anything like that. I can just by feel pick up and know I have 2 cards. But if you do need a break, you can opt for a pinky count, or as you are kind of flipping this over, you can just use your thumb to get a break there and you're good to go. Now the justification in this particular scenario, the original presentation would be like, all right, so you have the 9 of clubs and you're going to pick up the 2 cards and you're just going to drop them right on top. And even if they split a bit, that's fine, because they won't see the back design with the white borders on a bordered deck, right? It won't flash, but you just drop them even. You hold them in sort of this overhand grip like this, and if you just drop it, they really won't split. If you drop them from lower, there's even a less chance that they'll split. So you just kind of do that. You say, all right, so we have the 9 of clubs, and then I'll take off the king, and I'll grip it in the same sort of way, right? So I just come over like this. I say the king of clubs, the 5, or the king of spades, 5 of spades, 4 of spades, 2 of hearts, 3 of hearts, queen of diamonds, ace of diamonds. And I kind of go through, and sometimes, you know, I'll go through the whole deck, naming them all so they really see if there's no jack of hearts. Or I'll kind of go through them like this, speed up it a little bit, and then I'll square those and throw those on top. Now, that's up to you, but you just, you know, this moment's so convincing because their card is very openly not there anymore. It almost, the psychology almost convinces them without having to show them that that is their card, and it's really incredible. Now, I'll kind of square up the top portion a bit by just, you know, on top of that card there, I'll just kind of square up just like that. And that'll just help keep everything nice and square. You can see how pretty well square that is. Now you want to pick it up in a biddle grip like this, and then turn it over and come over top with the left hand, fingers on the front, and turn it this way. So now that card is hidden, so when you bring the hand down, it doesn't show the identity that obviously is not the jack of hearts, right? So again, you pick up in biddle, come over, flip into this position, and go straight into a spread. And when you spread the cards, the jack of hearts will be the only face-up one that shows, and they can actually come in here and look, and they won't find it. There's nothing else to find, because that card is actually removed from the spread and hidden underneath the spread. As you can see, if I kind of spread this way, it's actually hidden underneath right there. So that's sort of the original presentation. You can either tell them out loud, or you could write that card down on a prediction and hand it to them over there. But the nice thing about that is you have a great justification for you know, flipping over the deck once you're in this position and going through the rest of the cards, because they already know the cards. So you just say, not the jack of spades, not the 3 of diamonds, the king of diamonds, the 5 of hearts, that sort of thing. Now I just want to talk about using this as a force. So if you're going to use it as a force, so let's say you wanted to force the jack of hearts, well in this case you do the same thing. You go through the cards one at a time. They call stop, let's say about here. Set that card aside, then you flip it over, and you just say, look, now I just want to show you that all these cards are different. You can see each one different. If you could have stopped anywhere, it would have been a different outcome, different card. They're all completely different. And now that's the justification to go through, because you can't say, you know, let's look for the jack of hearts, see how you did, because you haven't explained which card it is yet. Now you flip it over the same way and you say, all right, let's see what card you picked. Huh, jack of hearts. Very, very cool. And now you can reveal this in a bunch of different ways. So, you know, card in the back of your phone, tattoo reveal, if you know stigmata, where you can get the card to print on your hand, or all kinds of different things. And you know, that's where I think the power for me of this effect is as sort of a glorified force. It's just a very fair feeling force, and you can, you know, reveal that and use that as all kinds of different reveals. That would be super powerful. If you know how to ask Siri and have Siri reveal a card, I have a method for that that I might teach in the future that is completely impromptu, works on any phone. You don't need any apps, nothing like that, no shortcuts, and you can really just have Siri say whatever you want, so that's pretty cool. So explore that. Let me know in the comments if you have any good ideas for how you would reveal this as a force, because I think it's better than just doing a riffle force or something like that and they just have the card. This, you know, there's anticipation and it feels so fair. They say stop wherever they want. It's just such a clean, fair force, and it's long to me to use as just a quick force if you need to force a card for another routine, but as a simple force reveal routine, this is a wonderful force for that. Now let's talk about cleanup. We're in this position. I took the jack of hearts from here, right? And if we look, that card that is side jogged is actually right next to, you know, the card they took. It's actually right under there, right? And that's where it ends up. So how can we clean up from this position? Well, there's two ideas. One, you know where you took that card from, and as you're pulling it out, you're naturally going to leave a pretty big size gap. It's going to be the biggest spread, right? This card's the most spread. So you're going to come and you're going to do sort of a spread shift. So you start to pick up the cards, and as you get to this card, you put your thumb down, and the thumb will now push all of these cards into a pile. And as you get to the end, you're just kind of pick up with the thumb and throw those ones on top. And at speed, it looks really, really good. And now you've controlled that card to the bottom, and you can once again do the Gambler's Cop little reverse, and you are clean, right? If you find yourself in that situation. So again, as you take out that Jack of Hearts, you see how big of a spot it leaves, and you would just come through, go like this, and square everything up, and now you have that card on the bottom. So again, that's what that looked like at speed. Now another idea to clean up that's actually really cool. So after you take out that card, all you need to do is do the ribbon spread sort of turnover. And what's going to happen is your spread is going to fall, it's going to break at the point where the short card was, because it's going to kind of ruin it. So once half's face up and half's face down, you can literally just remove the face up cards, and that face down card is just going to blend right into the rest of the ribbon that fell over, and it just looks like a little mistake. You turn it up and you close it. So again, I'll show you what that looks like. In this case, 8 of clubs will be the card that we need to clean up at the end. So we're in this position, we spread, Jack of Hearts comes out here. I go to do a ribbon turnover, it screws up, it breaks, and you say, oh, that's weird, okay. And then you just, you literally remove the face up cards, and the 8 of clubs stays behind, and it just blends right in with the spread. Throw those on top, and you are clean and ready to go. So with this routine, use it in all kinds of different ways, and let me know in the comments how you guys plan to use this. If you plan to use it as the force, if you like the original handling, or if you like this next idea that I'm going to give you. So in terms of uses and other ideas, I want to talk about a really neat way to use this effect to segue into another effect, okay? And that effect is a triumph. I'm going to show you how you can use this to actually lead into a really, really awesome triumph. Again, we'll use a Jack of Hearts as the force. Let's say we deal through and they call stop here. We set that card there, flip everything over. Say you could have picked any one of these. Boom, we go through, show them, and go like that. And then we turn and we say, oh, and you picked the Jack of Hearts, and maybe I reveal this prediction. And now you have an incredible prediction effect. Now you can have them, maybe sign that card, whatever the case is. What you're going to do in this case is you're going to do the spread shift, though, as you're closing up. So they're signing that card. You have all the time in the world to do the spread shift. So you come, set your thumb down on the card where, just beneath the Jack where you took it from. And now as you continue to close, all these cards are going to get squared up, and you just pick up at your thumb, throw those on top, and you will find on the bottom you have the one face down card. So to show you the spread shift at a bit of a better angle, when you remove this Jack, just make sure you spread the cards a little bit wider so you know exactly where to put your thumb. So you're coming through, you put your thumb down, now your thumb's going to collect all of these cards. You can use the other hand to help everything square up, and then you just take that packet where your thumb was and throw those on top, and then you have that face down card at the bottom. So they're in the process of signing this card, right? And as you pick up the deck, you just flip it over, right? You flip it, so you're now in the position where it looks like the deck's face down, but you just have that one cover card. So in the context of the spread shift, it's like this. You throw those on top, and then you can kind of do the flip as you're squaring everything up. Or you just kind of look when they're not looking. You can come down like this and take the deck like that. This is a nice little idea. You bring the hand forward, so maybe you'd gesture for the box, right? You come for the box over top, and as you do that, you pivot the cards like this, right? So you come, and that blocks the pivot, and then you move that, and now when you come back, you just re-grip the cards like this, and it looks very, very natural. So you can say, yeah, just make sure you sign that card, and you have flipped the deck, right? One more time. Yeah, just make sure you use that pen, sign that card, and you've done the flip. So a couple different ideas, but you just need to have the deck flipped. Now you ask them to return their card. Don't riffle, because it'll give away that the deck's flipped. Just have them return it in the deck, and you're almost ready to go. We're in a great position for a triumph now, because we can use this card as the face down into face up packet. And all you need to do is just cut the deck anywhere that is not their card, so it looks like you have two face down piles. So literally cut anywhere, and you're going to shuffle them together. Now there is a discrepancy, obviously. This kind of gives it away. So what I like to do is as I come from the left side to the right side as I do the cut, and I turn this palm face down. Okay, so it looks like this, and I say all right, and then I butt the ends together, and I say I'm going to flip one half face up, and one's going to be face down, and then I ferrule them roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect by any means, together. So it looks like this. So I say perfect. So I'll cut the cards like this, and I'll flip one half face up, and we have the other half face down, and we're gonna mix them face up into face down, just like that. And you give it a little shuffle. Now you actually haven't done anything. All you need to make sure is when you do that, that cover card that you initially had on top remains on top, okay? So one little tip would be to cut off a bigger chunk, right? You cut off a good sized chunk in the hand of the card that you want to go on top. So now, you know, it's easily gonna stay on top. I personally cut off about even, and then even if I end up with that card being underneath, I can literally just adjust it by pulling the deck back a little bit and getting it to go on top. So again, let's say you mess up, like I always faro from the bottom, so you could easily just faro from the top and be sure that the card goes on top, but I personally faro from the bottom. So let's say that card is underneath there. If you just pull back a bit, it'll end up on the top, and then you can, you know, push the cards back in with that card on top. That's the only thing you need to make sure. So again, their card somewhere in the middle, and I would recommend it's, you know, either closer to the top or closer to the bottom so that it doesn't end up right in the middle of the deck and then you happen to split on their card, but it doesn't really matter. I would just have them return it wherever they want. Then you're gonna cut. Again, you're gonna come like this. You're gonna come from this way to this way, and you can almost do this wrist turn under the cover of the deck here, right? So you go like this and they don't even really see it turn, and that big motion covers a smaller motion. So you say, all right, so we'll cut the cards in half, and I'll flip one face up, and really, that, you know, you're not doing anything. You're just coming like this. You say, perfect. We're gonna cut the cards. I'll flip one half face up. So now we have face down into face up cards. You're gonna shuffle, and then just don't shuffle open like this so they see they're all face up. All you need to do in that case is turn your hands down a little bit so they just see the tops. They more so see the top of the card at their eye line. Square everything up, and now you can do the, you know, we have cards back to face, we have cards face to back, and then you should be able to identify the natural break where their card is. And I wouldn't do the face to, we have cards face to face, because that's going to reveal their card, but I would do right above that, and I'd say we have cards back to back. And all I need to do is take this top card, flip it over, and watch. Snap your fingers, and every single card fixes itself except for one, and it's your signed Jack of Hearts. So it just feeds so nicely into this effect. So super quick, from this moment of the spread, you pull out the Jack and leave a little bit of a space so you know where to put your thumb. You come here and do the spread shift. Then you invite them to sign that card. As they're signing it, you flip the deck over in your hands, and you should have that one face down card on top. They return the card wherever they would like, and then you're gonna, you know, just cut the cards anywhere, because you'll end up at a face up card. But you're gonna do that kind of over here, a little slightly to your left, and you're gonna turn to your right. And as you do that, this wrist is gonna be turned in. So you turn and you bump the deck together, and you just say, all right, we're gonna cut the cards. So you do that in one motion. All right, so we're gonna cut the cards here, and then we're gonna turn one half face up. And as you do that, you just rotate the hand back, right? It was originally like this, and we turn it this way, so that was actually flipping it, but we're flipping it back to original, but they don't know that. So we say, all right, we'll just cut the cards. I'll flip one half face up. Now I'm just gonna shuffle them together roughly, doesn't really matter. And then you just make sure that the one face down card stays on top, shuffle them together, and you're ready to go. All you need to do is flip that top card over. So you say, you know, we got cards back to back, we got cards back to face, we got cards face to back, and all I have to do is take this top card, flip it face up, wave my hand, snap, and every single card fixes except for one, the Jack of Hearts. So I hope you guys like that idea. It's a great little triumph, a lot of fun, and it, you know, works great off the back of that effect. All right, guys, I hope you liked that video. That one was a lot of fun. A lot of cool ideas in there, using Ed Marlo's open prediction as a force, using it to segue into the triumph, and that's a way that I love to use it. I think those two effects work so well together, and that triumph is really, really neat. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you need any help with this or any other thing magic or mentalism related, you can go check out my website, sign up for some private lessons, because those are the best way that I can help you personally one-on-one. So guys, I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.